Most people go through life half asleep. They wake up, scroll their phone, go to work, come back home, and repeat the cycle again. And deep down, they know they are capable of more. They feel this silent frustration, this burning thought. I was meant for something greater than this. And maybe that's you. Maybe you've had nights where you couldn't sleep because your dreams were too loud. Maybe you've had days where you felt stuck, watching others move forward while you're standing still. And maybe, just maybe, you're tired of feeling like life is slipping away, one wasted day at a time. Here's the truth. Every single one of us has greatness inside. But greatness isn't something you stumble upon by luck. It isn't something someone hands you. It is built, brick by brick, choice by choice, action by action. The difference between the life you're living now and the life you know you could live is discipline. It's the ability to push yourself when no one is watching. It's saying yes to your future and no to the excuses that have held you back for years. This video isn't about hype. This isn't about empty motivation that fades after 10 minutes. This is about transformation, real lasting transformation, and it starts right now. So if you're watching this, don't just listen. Lean in, engage with every word. Ask yourself, how does this apply to me? What can I change today? Because words alone won't change your life. Action will. But sometimes, all it takes is one spark, one shift in mindset, one moment of clarity to ignite a fire that never goes out. But let me warn you, this is not going to be comfortable. Growth never is. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants to change their life. But very few are willing to pay the price. And that price is discipline. Discipline is doing what you said you would do, long after the mood you said it in has left you. It's the ability to keep moving forward, even when motivation disappears. Because motivation is temporary. It's emotional. It comes and goes. But discipline, that's permanent. That's the steel in your spine when everything else wants to collapse. Think about it. The greatest athletes in the world don't wake up every day motivated. Do you think every morning Michael Jordan felt excited to train? Do you think every day Serena Williams felt like hitting the court? Number. But they understood something deeper. It's not about how you feel. It's about what you do, regardless of how you feel. Most people let their feelings control their actions. They wait to feel ready. They wait for the right time. They wait until they're in the mood. But winners act first. They know that feelings follow actions, not the other way around. When you start, when you move, when you push yourself, that's when the energy comes. Discipline is freedom. That might sound strange, but it's the truth. Think about it. The more disciplined you are with your time, your habits, your health, the more freedom you actually create. You're no longer a slave to laziness, to procrastination, to regret. Instead, you own your life. But here's the catch. Discipline is painful. Let's be real. Waking up early when your bed is warm? Painful. Going to the gym when you're sore and tired? Painful. Studying when your friends are out having fun? Painful. But do you know what's more painful? Regret. The regret of looking back on your life and realizing you wasted it, that you could have been more, could have achieved more. But you let comfort rob you of your potential. Pain is unavoidable, but you get to choose the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One lasts a moment, the other lasts a lifetime. So how do you build discipline? The answer isn't complicated. You start small. You keep promises to yourself. You make your bed in the morning. You finish the workout you said you'd do. You stick to the schedule you planned. Every small act of discipline is like lifting a weight. It makes you stronger. And just like in the gym, your strength compounds over time. Don't chase perfection. Chase consistency. The world doesn't reward those who start strong and quit. It rewards those who keep showing up day after day, brick by brick. Let me tell you something. You will never find time to build your dreams. You must make time, and you make it through discipline, through structure, through sacrifice. Every time you choose discipline, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. And here's the beautiful part. Discipline bleeds into every area of your life. Build discipline in your fitness, and it will strengthen your mindset. Build discipline in your finances, and it will give you peace of mind. Build discipline in your work, and it will elevate your career. Discipline creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. So, let me ask you, what's one area of your life where you've been undisciplined? One habit you know is holding you back? Imagine how different your life would be if you just committed to fixing that one thing for the next 30 days. Imagine the confidence you'd build. Imagine the pride you'd feel. Discipline isn't just about success. It's about self-respect. When you keep promises to yourself, you prove to your own mind that you can be trusted. And when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for the perfect time. The time is now. Discipline is the path. Walk it. The greatest battles you will ever fight are not with the world outside of you. They are with yourself. They are not fought on battlefields or in arenas, but in the silence of your own mind. Your real enemy is not competition. It's not the people who doubt you. It's not the obstacles life throws in your way. The greatest enemy is the voice inside your head that whispers, "You can't." That voice is doubt. And doubt is a thief. It steals your dreams before you even try to chase them. It convinces you that you're not ready, not worthy, not capable. And here's the tragedy. Most people believe it. They let that voice dictate their choices, and they live their whole life in a cage built by their own thoughts. But listen carefully. Fear and doubt are liars. They're not reality. They're not the truth. They're nothing more than stories your mind tells you. And those stories only have power if you give it to them. Think about this. How many times in your life were you afraid to try something? And when you finally did, it wasn't nearly as bad as you thought. How many times did your fear paint a nightmare in your head that never came true? That's the game fear plays. It magnifies, it exaggerates, it paralyzes. Fear thrives on inaction. The more you hesitate, the stronger it gets. The more you sit and imagine, the bigger the monster grows. But the second you move, the second you take action, that's when fear shrinks. Because fear cannot survive action. Every champion you admire felt fear. Every hero you look up to doubted themselves at some point. The difference? They didn't let that fear control them. They didn't let doubt make their decisions. They acted anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting in spite of fear. It's saying, I hear the voice in my head telling me I can't, but I'm going to do it anyway. And here's the secret. The more you face fear, the weaker it becomes. The more you challenge doubt, the quieter it gets. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build, brick by brick, by facing the very things that scare you. Do you want to know what fear really is? It's a compass. It points directly to the things that matter most. The goals that scare you the most are usually the ones that will change your life the most. Fear doesn't mean stop. It means this is important. So the next time doubt whispers, "You're not good enough," don't run from it. Answer it. Say, "Maybe I'm not good enough yet, but I will be." When fear says, "You'll fail," respond with, "Failure is a step forward. Failure is how I learn." Because here's the truth. The only true failure is never trying. Every other failure is progress. Every other failure is data. Every other failure is growth. Fear and doubt will always be there. They don't disappear. But you don't have to obey them. You don't have to let them drive your life. Imagine if you lived with the courage to act, even when you were afraid. Imagine how much bigger your life could be. Imagine the dreams you could chase, the person you could become, if you stopped letting fear write your story. The enemy is not out there. It's inside. But so is the solution. Inside you is courage. Inside you is determination. Inside you is a fire stronger than any doubt, louder than any fear. All you have to do is choose to listen to it. So the next time that inner enemy whispers, "You can't," look it in the eye and say, "Watch me. Life will knock you down. That's not a possibility. It's a guarantee. You will fail. You will make mistakes. You will fall flat on your face. And that's not something to fear. It's something to expect." Because here's the truth. The difference between people who win and people who quit isn't talent. It isn't luck. It isn't resources. The difference is resilience. The ability to get back up after you've been knocked down. Think about a baby learning to walk. They stumble, they fall, they crash into furniture, but do they give up? Number they try again, and again, and again, until one day they take that first step, and that moment when they rise after the fall changes everything. You were born with resilience. You had it as a child. But as adults, we forget. We fail once, and we label ourselves a failure. We fall, and we start to believe we don't belong standing. But resilience is not about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. Every great success story you've ever heard is a story of resilience. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Walt Disney was told he lacked creativity. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. What do they all have in common? They refuse to let failure be final. Here's what resilience really is. It's persistence when you're tired. It's getting back up when everything in you says, "Stay down." It's choosing to see failure not as the end, but as the lesson that pushes you forward. When life pushes you to the ground, resilience is the hand you extend to yourself to rise again. Understand this. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every disappointment carries within it a lesson, a seed of growth, a hidden strength you didn't know you had. But most people quit too early. They fall once, twice, 3 times, and they stay down. They let the pain of failure erase the possibility of success. They forget that the most beautiful victories come right after the hardest struggles. Resilience is built in the dark moments, when nobody is watching, when everything inside you wants to quit, when the easy thing to do is to walk away. That's where strength is born. That's where character is forged. And here's the secret. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about bouncing forward. Each time you rise stronger, wiser, more capable than before. You don't return to who you were, you become more. Think about the last time you got through something hard. At the time, you didn't think you could survive it, but you did. And now, because of that experience, you're stronger. That is resilience in action. Life doesn't reward those who never fall. Life rewards those who refuse to quit. So, when you fall, and you will, don't waste energy asking, why me? Instead ask, what can I learn? How can I grow? How can I use this pain to build my future? Your scars are not signs of weakness. They're proof of survival, proof that you've been tested and you're still standing. Resilience is the superpower that turns ordinary people into legends. It's the quiet force that says, I may bend, but I will not break. I may stumble, but I will not stop. I may fall, but I will always rise. So when the world knocks you down, rise. When failure whispers, stay down, rise. When doubt says, it's over, rise. Because every time you rise after the fall, you're not just proving something to the world, you're proving something to yourself. That nothing and no one can keep you down. You are stronger than you think. You are more resilient than you know. And as long as you rise, you can never be defeated. Motivation will get you started, but discipline will keep you going. Here's the truth. Most people don't want to hear. Success doesn't belong to the most talented. It doesn't belong to the smartest. It doesn't even belong to the most motivated. Success belongs to the most disciplined. Motivation is a spark. It burns bright, but it fades quickly. Discipline is the firewood that keeps the flame alive. It's the ability to keep moving forward, not when it feels exciting, not when it's easy, but when it's hard, boring, and inconvenient. Think about it. Anyone can wake up one day full of energy and say, I'm going to change my life. But how many can wake up day after day when they're tired, when they're stressed, when nobody is watching, and still do the work? That's discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results, between dreams and reality. Without it, all you have are intentions. With it, you have transformation. Look at the people you admire. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. They don't succeed because they feel motivated every day. They succeed because they are disciplined every day. Muhammad Ali once said, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. That is discipline. Doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline means showing up, writing the page, making the call, going to the gym, studying the lesson, even when nobody claps, even when nobody notices, even when your mind screams, not today. Because the truth is this, small, consistent actions, repeated daily, lead to massive results. One workout doesn't change your body, but 1,000 will. One study session doesn't make you an expert, but years of learning will. One discipline choice won't change your life, but a lifetime of discipline will. Discipline is the compound interest of success. It multiplies over time, quietly, invisibly, until one day the results are undeniable. But here's what stops most people. They wait for motivation to return. They wait to feel like it. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect mood. That's That's not how success works. If you wait to feel ready, you'll wait forever. Discipline says, I don't care if I feel ready. I'll do it anyway. And discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep showing up. Miss a day? Fine. Start again tomorrow. Fall off track? Fine. Get back on. Winners are not the people who never fail. They're the people who never stop starting. Discipline also frees you. People think discipline is about restriction, about living without freedom. But the opposite is true. Discipline is the ultimate freedom. The freedom to build a life you want. The freedom to control your future instead of being controlled by impulses, distractions, and emotions. Think about it. The person who eats with discipline has the freedom of health. The person who works with discipline has the freedom of success. The person who saves with discipline has the freedom of wealth. Without discipline, your desires control you. With discipline, you control your desires. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect. It's saying to yourself, I am worth the effort. My dreams are worth the sacrifice. My future is worth the discipline. So ask yourself, what do you want most? Because discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. The easy choice brings comfort today, but regret tomorrow. The disciplined choice brings struggle today, but freedom tomorrow. Which one will you choose? Remember this. Motivation may start the journey, but only discipline will carry you to the finish line. When you feel tired, when you feel lazy, when you don't want to do it anyway. That's discipline. And that's how greatness is built. Discipline is the hidden power behind every success story. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, it's not dramatic, but it works. And if you master it, nothing will be impossible for you. So don't just chase motivation. Build discipline. Show up every day. Put in the work. Be consistent. Because in the end, discipline will take you where motivation never could. We live in the noisiest time in human history. Notifications buzzing, messages popping, videos autoplaying. Everyone and everything is fighting for your attention. And here's the truth. Your attention is your most valuable resource. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. Where your energy flows, your results grow. But most people don't lose to lack of talent, or lack of intelligence, or even lack of opportunity. They lose to distraction. Distraction is the silent killer of dreams. It steals minutes, then hours, then days, until one day you wake up and wonder where your life went. Think about it. How many times have you sat down to work only to get lost in scrolling, swiping, checking, and watching? Minutes turn into hours, hours into wasted days. That's the cost of distraction. Focus, on the other hand, is the superpower of success. The ability to lock in on one thing, to give it your full attention, to shut out the noise. That's what separates the extraordinary from the average. Steve Jobs once said, "Focus is about saying no." Success isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the right things, consistently, with intensity. Focus is choosing depth over width, quality over quantity, excellence over busyness. Here's the problem. Most people are busy, but not productive. They confuse motion with progress. They fill their days with distractions disguised as work. Checking emails, refreshing feeds, watching just one more video. But none of that builds their future. Discipline gets you to show up. Focus ensures that showing up leads to progress. So how do you build focus in a distracted world? 1. Remove distractions before they remove you. Your environment shapes your attention. If your phone is always buzzing, you'll always be tempted. If your workspace is full of clutter, your mind will be cluttered too. Create an environment where focus becomes the default, not the exception. 2. Train your brain to go deep. Most people live on the surface, switching from task to task, never going deep. But mastery requires depth. Give yourself blocks of uninterrupted time to dive into your work. No multitasking, no switching, just one thing at a time. 3. Protect your energy. Focus isn't just about attention, it's about energy. You can't focus when you're exhausted, overstimulated, or burned out. Sleep well. Move your body. Eat clean. A tired mind is a distracted mind. 4. Set clear priorities. If everything is important, nothing is important. Decide what matters most each day. Write it down. Attack it first. Don't let small distractions steal your time from big goals. Remember this: distraction is always easier than focus. Watching is easier than working. Consuming is easier than creating. But distraction costs you your future. Focus, on the other hand, compounds over time. One focused hour beats 10 distracted hours. One focused year can put you ahead of 10 distracted years. Look at history's greatest achievers: scientists, inventors, leaders, athletes. They weren't superhuman. They simply mastered the art of focus. While others were chasing 100 things, they gave themselves fully to one. Bruce Lee once said, "The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus." That's the difference. Not superhuman ability, just extraordinary focus. So, ask yourself, where is your focus going? To your phone? To endless distractions? Or to your goals, your craft, your future? The average person is distracted. The successful person is focused. Which one will you be? Focus is a choice. Every time you say yes to a distraction, you say no to your dreams. Every time you say no to a distraction, you say yes to your future. The question is simple. Which future do you want? So silence the noise. Close the tabs. Turn off the notifications. Protect your time. Protect your energy. Protect your focus. Because in the end, focus is not just about attention. It's about direction. And if you master it, no distraction will be strong enough to pull you away from your destiny.